Hi, my starving children. Shout out to the person who actually gave me motivation to make any video at all, specifically a yappening video. Shout out to Candy Kid, 4th grader, the only other Candy Kid in my entire fucking town. You're a real one. She also told me to make a video where specifically the background is drawing, so in the background is DeviantArt, OC, based off of the actual thing. I know, terrifying. I was low-curricularly fooling around, so instead of having ASMR in the background, you get a little music, specifically 2017 ass music. And for those of you wondering, it's called Jackpot by the Fat Rat. There we go. Anyway, today's riveting topic, stuff that's happened at school. Because I really just could not think of anything else. So I'm gonna go like chronological order-ish. So we're gonna start off in 5th grade. I'm gonna try my best. I don't remember, for 5th grade, I don't remember exact dates or like times and shit, but like I can remember the season. Anyway, first thing I remember from 5th grade was, so it was math class, right? I was doing my usual dilly-dallying, doodling on my homework, right? I don't remember what I was doodling, something BFDI, so it was like March something. I don't know. I don't care. That's not what matters. Now keep in mind that there's just a bunch of boys just like huddled around somebody's computer. Okay, normal. Boys fuck around all the fucking time. Whatever, man. They're probably they're probably just watching them play games or some shit. And then I hear, oh, it's blocked. So I look up. Our math teacher heard this. We're gonna call her Miss Peak. Miss Peak heard this, and, she walked over and she snatched up that computer and and she read it aloud. Keep in mind I'm autistic. Like, diagnosed autistic. When I tell you what she said, I'm not fucking joking. And sorry for the stalling. What sound do autistic people make when they get their backs blown out? I looked up and looked at them and just pure horror. What the fuck are you gonna do to me was my only thought. Like, oh, let's not. That's not good. No. And then there was this other time, that's less, what the fuck? That was less, like, traumatizing and more like, what the fuck just happened? So it was like an IAR testing day, so the schedule was weird, so keep that in mind. Right after, during the schedule, right after, science was lunch, I believe, or was it math? It was math, yeah, it's math. Right after, and our science and math rooms were the same, so Miss Peak teached both science and math. So one of the, it was a food chain skit thing that we did, and one of the people who was a tree, they had like land or something, I don't know, I don't remember. All I remember is that she was like a tree with flowers, and she went to the front of the room. We're gonna call her Sakura, because they were like pink flowers Like, they weren't real, but they were pink flowers. So Sakura walked up in the front of the room and said, whoever gets my, branches first gets candy. Everybody fucking jumped over their, desk. Except me. I was normal and got out of my seat like a normal human being. There were chairs knocked over. Like, when I say they jumped, they, like, actually leaped over their desk for that candy, bro. Spoiler alert, I was the only one who got candy because, I was a normal fucking human being. So as you should know, every school has their incident. In my school, in my old school, everybody was semi-involved with it. And I mean everybody. Even the soccer kids. So, it was recess, right? Back when I was a loner, I considered, some kids, my friends, except, we were not friends. We did not fucking talk, and they 100% hated me. They were 1000% bullying me.
But during this random day at recess, I noticed that there was some kids running around the playground. So I thought, oh, well, they're probably just playing around. And then later I noticed that there's A, more people, and B, the muffucks who I considered my friends, even though they really weren't my friends that I mentioned earlier, were also there. So I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm joining. Now keep in mind I had chunky ass boots, so I couldn't really run, so I was at the tail of this running scene. Something that I feel like you should also know is the fact that not a single soccer kid was involved with this. They were too busy playing their game of soccer to give a shit. So anyway, the vice principal came out and blew his whistle and stopped us in the middle of the field, where the soccer players were. And everybody ran off, except me. I ran off, sort of, kind of, maybe, but not really. I'm more just like, should I go? Should I leave? Kind of shimmy-ass leaving. But I was at the tail, so I was never suspected. You might be wondering now, why the fuck would the superintendent stop running around the playground? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? So apparently it was a bunch of that little amount of kids that I said earlier who were chasing some kid because he was getting, quote, married to some girl. I forgot his name. I forgot her name because it doesn't fucking matter. But, that's what happened. And I remember thinking that on the playground, too, so it's okay. You're not alone in this. The only people who got in trouble were the, soccer kids. You know, the only people who weren't involved. I remember overhearing them just saying, it wasn't us, we were playing soccer, because they unfortunately stopped it in the middle of the field where soccer players were playing. Anyway, I know I only talked about 5th grade, but that's all the time I have because I really don't feel like putting in another 5-minute long speed paint and then trying to cover those said 5 minutes, so it's 10 minutes long. Anyway, subscribe, and Candy Kid, thank you for this motivation. I'll let you guys, I'm pretty sure the song finished. I'll let you guys finish off the speed paint. It's almost done.